be discussing on the role of higher educational institutions in the industry 4.0 to 5.0 age. Higher educational institutions have a major role to play in showing the way to solve local problems with scientific solutions. Scientific knowledge bereft of a social benefit is of no use, and universities and premier institutes have a great responsibility. The Northeast has institutions of repute, and knowledge exchange from across the country to develop the Northeastern region would pave the way for faster growth. Developing an entrepreneurial ecosystem in the universities is the need of the hour, especially in the Northeastern region.
For this panel, we have with us Shri Ashok Puranik Sir, AIMS Director, Guwahati; Shri Shrikant Singha, CEO, Task; Shri Lalit Sharma, Director, Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, Guwahati; Professor Iftikhar Hussain, Dean, School of Technology, Northeastern Hill University; Shri Arjun Singh, Senior Manager, Handicrafts and Carpet Sector, Skill Council; Professor Sojan Lal, Principal, MBITS, Kerala.
We request Shri Ashok Puranik Sir, Shri Shrikant Sinha Sir, Shri Lalit Sharma, Professor Muhammad Iftikhar Hussain Sir, Shri Arjun Singh, and Professor Sojan Lal.
Can we have a round of applause for all the distinguished speakers here on stage? Shri Ashok Puranik, AIMS Director, would be moderating the session.
I think I'll begin with introducing myself. This is my fourth tenure in the Northeast. I worked for Army for very long years, 32 years, as a trauma surgeon. In 2016, I retired from Army, and then I joined AIMS Jodhpur as a professor of surgery and trauma. I come from the field of managing acutely injured and acute surgery. I was trained in Australia for my trauma training. I went abroad for upskilling myself. That's the story about me. And just 6 months back, I took over as the director of AIMS with the vision that this Northeast certainly needs a lot of gaps to be filled up in the healthcare delivery, especially making safe doctors, giving a safe clinical care, and inculcating the kind of research which this country particularly needs. We are at the moment running OPD and not the IPD services, which soon it will be start in 3 and 4 months' time. But soon we'll get over there also. The topic for today's discussion is role of higher educational institution in the industry, 4.0 to 5.0 age. The first topic we'll be discussing is how research and innovation leapfrogged in past few years. I think 10 years back, nobody was talking about the research methodology, the teaching methodology. I think everything has got a methodology now. Everything has got a protocol now. Everything is evidence-based. Everything is, has to be scientifically proven and then adapted. So the research takes a prime importance, and I'm happy that last 10 years, even if I talk to any arts student about the statistics, they know the basics. If I talk to a psychologist, they know the whole research methodology system, that how the question and the hypothesis is tested, how the data is collected, how analysis is done, and how one reaches to the conclusion, and everybody is into the publishing into the papers. And our Article 51, today is the Science Day, the global science and global well-being. That's the motto of this particular Science Day. And our Constitution, Article 51, says that it becomes our fundamental duty of every citizen to promote the scientific temper and spread the spirit of humanism, and also spread about the wisdom to each and everyone. So everybody has to get into a kind of, don't just accept everything like that. You need to ask why is like that. So you ought to have a scientific temper in your daily approach. That's what the message is today. So the research takes an important in this particular era. So I will ask Mr. Shrikant Sinha CEO, TASK. Sir, what's your view on this?
A very good afternoon to all of you. Or I should say, Kene Khwa, Moi Shrikant. I used to be traveling to Assam long ago. 1990s, early 89, 90s, I used to be visiting Assam quite a lot. And I used to be part of organizations. I used to be training Oil India, Indian Oils. I've been to Duliajan, Dibrugarh, etc., etc. And today when I came to Guwahati, after 92, there's a sea change over here. And I think today when we talk about IR 4.0, 5.0, I think first we need to understand what is the whole thing about IR 4.0. Before we move to that, we need to also understand that whenever we spoke about any industrial revolution, till Industrial Revolution 3.0, or even, was one single technology that was impacting. Steam engine, internet, etc., etc. When we had IR 4.0, the complete thing changed, where we started talking about multiple technologies working together to make an impact, right? So some of you might be thinking, well, if that is how things are going and those technologies are already here. We are talking about high-speed internet, 5G. We are talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning. I'm sure all of you would have heard about ChatGPT, etc., right? Conversational AI, generative AI, etc. And it has been moving in that direction itself. If we talk about Internet of Things, moving further from Internet of Things, now you have IIoT, which is Industrial Internet of Things. And that's how directions have been changing. But where will it stop? What will happen? And my view is, things are going to be here, whether we like it or not. Things will change. It will move from IR 4.0 to 5.0. And the basic difference between IR 4.0 and 5.0 is only one thing: coexistence, right? When we talk about 5.0, it'll be humans and robots existing together, working together. IR 4.0 is bringing in efficiency, optimization. It is putting all technologies working together. Today, if you look at it, and I take a very, very simple example. Any automobile engineers here or people who are doing automobile engineering? Anyone over here? Can I see a show of hands, please? No one. Okay. Well, if you were an automobile engineer today, right, you would have gone through what we call as the ICE engine, internal combustion engine, right? But if you open any boot of, the bonnet of any car, you will see that you don't have a combustion engine there. It is all multi-fuel point injection, MPFI. But our institutions are not teaching that. And tomorrow when we talk about IR 4.0 and 5.0, the curriculum will completely change. So let's see, what does an automobile engineer need to know in the future, right? The first time a moving vehicle would not have too many moving parts, right? It'll be software driven. So of course the person needs to know AI, ML, software, programming. That is one part of it. The second thing the person needs to know is more in terms of course, a little bit mechanics, etc. Also, mechanical engineering concepts also need to be known by him, because you have a powertrain. Instead of an engine and everything else, you have a powertrain. Instead of your complete, ICE, you would have now fuel cells or batteries. So person needs to understand chemistry also, right? And when you move ahead, he also needs to understand one more thing, because tomorrow if you are going in the evening along with your family to your favorite restaurant, anyone can hack your car audio system and listen to where you are going, right? And that is how things would happen in the future. When we talk about 5G coming in, we are talking about fleet learning, which means one autonomous car communicates with other autonomous car to understand how to drive. But if a hacker wants to break it, right, he can hack the system and all cars will come to a stall. So imagine that an automobile engineer also needs to understand cybersecurity. And that is how things are moving. And this is not only, I've just taken the case of one example of automobile engineering, but if you look at it, everything is moving in that direction itself. Be it space technology, be it chemical, you talk about anything. I think what is most important, and for researchers to understand also, that it's high time we let go of academic research. We need to move towards industrial research. As far as skills, etc. is concerned, earlier we used to have a T model, right? So you used to know a lot of things, but you used to deep dive and have extreme good knowledge in one particular segment, or it was a T-shaped model. This kind of a model it used to be. Now it's a pie-shaped model, where you know a lot of things, but two things that you need to know is, of course, your own expertise area, but along with that, AI, ML, and emerging technologies. And that is where things are moving. So what I would like to talk about is, yes, research needs to be done, but as of yesterday, we need to include all these latest technologies, all these latest things into our curriculum. We need to also ensure that we bring in, see, this standpoint that I come from is very, very simple. For good music, you need musicians, right? People who are skilled in certain areas. But for producing good music, you also need Beethovens and Bach, etc. People who are research-oriented, people who have gone into that direction and created those research. But the research should be something which can be implemented into the industry itself. I hope that answers the question, sir.
Thank you, Srikanth, sir. Move forward with Professor D.K. Bhattacharya. Your opinion on this, how research and innovation leapfrogged in past few years.
Thank you. Esteemed dignitaries, and ladies and gentlemen, my dear student friends, I am Professor D.K. Bhattacharya, Vice Chancellor at Tezpur University. So, in the recent past, of course, this research and technology-led innovation have made significant strides and in advancement in technology communications, access to data, and these developments have facilitated new discoveries, products, and services that have impacted the society positively and towards the development of a sustainable India. So mainly I'm in the 11 areas which I can highlight that where the technology-led innovation has made a significant progress. One is, of course, in the advancement in healthcare. The advances in medical technology, such as genomics, nanotechnology, and AI/ML have led to development of a lot of diagnostic tools, techniques, and drugs, and advances in these high-quality data capturing services and imaging technology and compute-intensive data analytics have made a significant progress in detecting the diseases at an early stage, and while and telemedicine also have made the healthcare more accessible to the people. And the collaboration among the researchers and healthcare provider industries and as well as the government have led to a more integrated, sustained and coordinated high-precision approach for the healthcare sector. Then advancement in renewable energy, this is another one evolving area where a lot of research have been done, and the growth of this research have made, significant progress in developing the new and informative ways, innovative ways for capturing, storing, and using the renewable energy. And solar panels now have become more efficient, cost-effective, and battery technology has advanced, making it possible to store, use energy from the renewable sources. Also, this wind energies case in also you can see the turbine design technology have made it possible to generate more electricity from wind. Similarly, in robotics and automation, this is another one sector where the advances in technology, including artificial intelligence and machine learning, enable the developer more sophisticated and sustainable and high-precision robotics and automated systems. And collaboration among researchers, industry partner, and government has increased, allowing for more effective development and implementation of robotic and automation technology. The biotechnology is another one field where we can see the growth of research and innovation has led to the significant advancement in medicine, agriculture, and environmental sustainability. And recent advancement in biotechnology have led to development of new innovative methods, understanding and manipulating the biological system, development of new drugs, medicine, and therapies, as well as the new methods for producing food and biofuel. In nanotechnology, where advancement have enabling the development of more efficient and powerful electronic devices, as well as the new material with unique properties. In medicine also, this nanotechnology is being used to develop the new drug delivery system and diagnostic tools. Similarly, in cybersecurity, I'm a man of computer science and specialization in cybersecurity. I can say that advancements of AI and ML is enabling the better detection prevention of the cyber attacks, while innovation in encryption technology also made it harder. And similarly, the blockchain technology is being used to improve the cybersecurity by providing a decentralized, cost-effective, and sustainable solutions for the secure storage and sharing of the confidential data. Then in quantum computing also, that innovation in quantum computing and quantum communications are enabling new methods for detecting and transmitting information with the unprecedented precisions. Then in agriculture technology, we have seen that precision agriculture involves the use of the sensors, drones, and other technology to collect data on the moisture, nutrient levels, and other factors to optimize the crop growth and its yield. Then in financial technology, fintech has revolutionized the way we access and manage our finances with innovations such as mobile payments, robo-advisors, and the blockchain technology. And in digital forensic also, the machine learning algorithms are used to analyze voluminous data and detect the exceptional patterns or anomalies. And in digital forensic, these ML algorithms help to identify the suspicious patterns or the behavior in the digital evidences. In space exploration also, you have seen that reusable rockets have been made in the space to travel more cost-effective and accessible, while advancement in the space exploration technology have allowed for more extensive and detailed studies to planet and other celestial bodies. Now, these are the 11 areas that I have just mentioned where advancement have been made in the past 2 decades. Now, every higher education institution, how to be prepared to cope up with, so the students can be prepared so they can handle it. So I have considered here the 6 major steps that every higher education institution will have to take. First, to foster critical thinking and problem-solving skills. We have to encourage the students to think deeply about the complex issues, analyze information, and propose solutions for the real world. Then the second one is to promote multidisciplinary learning. As per the NEP implementation also, we must have the basket of the multidisciplinary courses in addition to the skill-based and value-added courses. Then the encourage participation and engagement. The students should be participatory and engaging and allowing students to take active roles in their learning and encouraging them to apply the knowledge and skills to real-world situation. Then the fourth one is the foster values and state attitude. ESD, Education for Sustainable Development, should promote values such as to respect for the diversity, social responsibility, and a commitment to sustainable development. Then the fifth one is the develop partnership. The ESD should involve collaboration between schools, communities, and other stakeholders to ensure that education is relevant and responsive to the local needs and context.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Can you wrap up the...
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would like to just add a few things. Like sir has said, a lot of new things has come, like AI, robotics, minimal invasive surgery, the nanorobotics, the genetics, the regenerative medicine. I can tell you in 20 years' time, there will be a kind of a laboratory where your all organ could be available. They'll be able to grow. They'll be able to have a kind of tailor-made organs for you. What do you need? That will be prepared and it will be transplanted on you. So that's the future. Like you have seen, we've been able to make a vaccine in India and able to give to others. So that's our strength. Let's move. The 5G is coming and 5G is going to make our life a little more faster. And with the AI and all these drones, the whole healthcare delivery is going to change. Our approach to the healthcare is going to be more preventive rather than the curative. We'll have more old age people to deal with, more chronic disease to deal with, but yes, the medicine is also keeping a pace with whatever problems we have in the society. Okay, so let's move forward. There is another topic for discussion today, role of universities in generating local employment and mitigating local problems. We have 2 eminent speakers on this. Professor Lalit Sharma and Professor Sojan will be aiding further. So first I will invite Lalit Sharma. You can introduce yourself and you can...
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries on the dais and all the students, teaching fraternity present over here in the hall. A very important topic has been put forward, the role of higher educational institutions. You see, we are trying to understand the role of higher educational institutions in terms of the outcome they are able to produce in terms of entrepreneurs that they have developed, jobs that they have created, research that they have done. See, I would first of all like to talk upon the role of higher educational institutions in developing entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship, what we are doing, what we are not doing. And in order to stress further on this, I would like to just give you a few highlights. You see, very recently last year, Government of India did a startup ranking of all the states in terms of how much startups have been developed. And if I talk about Assam, we were in the category of leaders. So the first category was top performers, wherein there were only 2 states, Gujarat and Karnataka. Next, there were top performers. And third, there were leaders. So we were in the category of leaders, which means we still need to go much higher. I'm talking in context of Assam. Today we have got some 850 odd startups from Assam as per DPI report. And the top performer, Gujarat, that we are talking, it has got some 8,500 startups. We really need to look into it. What is it that Gujarat is doing? What is it that we are probably not doing? Today, in terms of incubation centers, see, in Assam, we have got some 16 or 18 incubation centers functional. In Gujarat, there are 180 plus. There are very few fabrication labs over here in the institutions. There are very few tinkering labs in the schools, which are today considered to be one of the very important component in any educational institutions for developing entrepreneurs. If I talk about the last Assam startup policy, which came in 2017, it gave a lot of guidelines to educational institutions that we want to have more MOOCs. We would like them to revise their curriculums, make it more entrepreneurship oriented, develop more incubation centers. These were guidelines given to the educational institutions without any backup. Similar kind of guidelines were given to educational institutions in Gujarat as well, but then they were also given backing up in terms of financial incentives, which ranged from 40 lakh to 5 crore. And a separate fund was given to this particular purpose by the state government in order to strengthen institutions, in order to make them more capable. So today, what I think we really need to do is, you see, we cannot just give guidelines in terms of development of these institutions, strengthening of these institutions, or if we are looking forward to coming out with more and more student startups. We would like that we strengthen our institutions, not just with guidelines, but also with some institutional backing, some financial backing. There's one scheme which I would particularly like to talk about, Student Startup Innovation Policy, which was implemented in Gujarat. See, in this particular policy, the state government has asked for a contributory role of the education institutions, wherein they want education institutions also to give 50% of investment and 50% is given by the state governments. To universities, since the number of students are very high, the amount of financial backing is also very high. It goes up to as high as 5 crore rupees. So that, you see, students are supported not just with the education, but also with training, which is very particular to entrepreneurship. Also with regard to seed funding, which students definitely need. You see, if we are looking forward to student entrepreneurship, please, we will have to understand their requirements.
Could you wrap up with Professor
Yeah,
Lalit?
just a last minute.
Okay.
So since students are also here, institutions are here, state government is also here, you see, I think this is just a suggestion which I would like to place, that we would like to have a more strong relationship, more convergence. The more this convergence is, I think, if we could understand each other's problems better, I think that would be much better for us to develop a policy which can be helpful to the state in a larger way. Thank you so much.
University of Grant Commission, Indian Council of Medical Research, Department of Science and Technology, they are coming with they already have introduced kind of a research grant for all the students. So you can visit all these websites of University Grant Commission, ICMR and DSTC, and from there you can pick up your research and you'll be funded also, and that will give you a kind of opportunity to launch yourself. Professor Sojan Lal, who has come from Kerala, he's an engineer by profession. MIBAT is his institute. He'll be also talking on the same topic on universities in generating local employment and mitigating local problems.
Good afternoon to all of you. Let me, first of all, thank you for inviting me over here. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Sojan Lal, did my engineering in mechanical, and also I did a master's and PhD in computer science. I worked in Indian Alumni for 1.5 years. Then almost 15 years I've been into academics. I also worked in oil and gas industry in 3 different sectors: maintenance, IT, as well as business planning. That's my brief of qualifications. And I'm also into the research into computer science, as well as into the safety engineering also. Once again, good afternoon to particularly to all my dear students. Let me ask you a question. How many of you would like to get an employment? Please raise your hands. Any employment, please raise your hands. And how many of you want your own business and what others are doing? Okay, I'll just say a few words, and this is my views. And again, each one of you can derive your own views. To me, if you are very ambitious, you can definitely think of starting your own business. But in reality, sometimes what happens, we hear that many organizations, particularly the startups, are failing because of lack of mentorship, lack of experience and all. So I do suggest that you may initially work in some industry for a period of time, you get the knowledge, experience, then you may go for your own industry or your own startup. So before that, let me introduce 2 more words. One is very familiar to you, one is employability, which everybody is talking about, and you should be employable at the time of graduation or whatever course which you are doing. I'll also introduce another word which is deployable. So employability and deployability is slightly different. You are employable means, I would say that you will be able to start into your career, you can start your way. Whereas when you say that you are deployable, you are into the higher level. Possibly you are hearing about IITs and NITs and the premier institutes, IIMs and all. The students who are coming out from this, they are more into this between employable and deployable. And even the starting salaries I am hearing on the engineering side of even 50 lakhs is annual salary. How do you get to that? And also in the previous days, the speakers, particularly from the NIT Trichy, the madam was mentioning about, and various clubs and functions are there, and so by which there is an outcome of this. Definitely the skills you need to promote, and again, you need to promote various other soft skills also. Your leadership qualities, finance management, team-wise, networking, facing challenges, use of brain left and right, another speaker was mentioning about. These are all the mix of this. And again, to get in the technical aspect of this, so many platforms are available. As we have seen on the previous day, AICT, Microsoft, Google, Infosys, Springboard, ANSYS, there are numerous websites and programs are available where you can upskill yourself and into this. Now the question is, you must have a goal in your mind, you should have a target in your mind, and you start working on this. Let me ask you a small question. How many of you find always difficulty in managing time? Please raise your hands. If you really find difficulty in managing time, please raise your hands. I see a few hands are raised up. And as I am in the academics, I have seen my students they have been using the mobile phone for 6 to 12 hours per day. There is a setting in your mobile phone. You just closely watch and how you are effectively utilizing your. Now there is Industry 4.0 to 5.0 you are talking about. Like that in education sector, there is Education 4.0 to 5.0. You can't avoid your gadgets, what you have in your hand. Definitely, you need to manage with that. So likewise, in any industry, there is a phase shift should happen. Like in industry, research and all, it's happening. Likewise, here also, there is a phase shift should happen. Now let me introduce one more thing. When you help others, you will also develop your own career. Like if there is an opportunity to serve for, you're all fortunate to be here. Think of the people who are in the villages and other places who are not been in a position to come up to your level. You engage them, you develop them, and again, that will also help you to go together. And I think you have to face today's challenges, and wish you all the best, and thank you very much. Have a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sojanlal. I think after all the skills, there are few skills which need to be ingredient part of you, and that to the respect for and dignity for the fellow human being. You learn to respect fellow human being. I think that's the crux of the thing. Second thing, you ought to be altruistic by nature. You ought to be empathetic. You ought to be compassionate. Then the society will rise. The society will improve as a whole. And you carry the attitude, carry the passion, carry the communication skills. All those things will follow if you have these two attitudes. Having said that, we have got a paucity of time. Let's move forward for the topic on growth of higher education in Northeast region, rising demand for higher education in Northeast region, and this will be covered by Sri Arjun Singh, the Senior Manager Handicrafts, Carpet Sector Skill Council. May I invite Sri Arjun Singh on the dais, please.
So, hello everyone. I am Arjun Singh, Senior Manager Handicrafts and Carpet Sector Skill Council. And before I start, I want to grab attention of my target audience, which is there. Hello? Okay. So, आप लोग ने बैम्बू कितने लोगों ने बनते हुए देखा अपने घर में? बैम्बू से? बिल्कुल. So, I belong to the sector which deals in handicrafts and carpet. So, handicrafts and carpet के बारे में मैं आपको थोड़ा सा बताऊंगा ताकि आप लोग ये समझ सके कि if you want to become an entrepreneur or if you want to make some career in handicrafts and carpet sector, तो वो आप कैसे कर सकते हैं. तो उसके पहले आपको थोड़ा सा अट्रैक्टिव बनाने के लिए सेक्टर को मैं बताऊंगा कि what are the actual export figures क्या हैं और कितना एक्सपोर्ट होता है. So, in the year 2020-2021, about 33,000 crore rupees of handicrafts products were exported. Secondly, similarly, carpet में 16,000 crore रुपए का जो carpet है from India has been exported. So, if you see this sector, whatever handmade products that are produced in India, 60 to 65% of the product are being exported. Similarly, again, if we talk about carpet sector, 90% of the carpet are being exported, whatever they are produced in India. So if you see the sector in terms of money, in terms of export orientation, obviously this sector is, export oriented sector. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, obviously you will be dealing in the world market. अभी हम जब बात करते हैं अगर कि आप लोग इंक्लाइन करना है आपके अटेंशन को टुवर्ड्स हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स एंड कारपेट सेक्टर, तो इट बिकम्स ईजियर बिकॉज यू हैव बिकॉज इन आवर सेक्टर स्काई इज द लिमिट. सो why we urge students and the college going people to make their career in this handicrafts and carpet sector is because we have two motives. One, obviously you can make your career as an entrepreneur. Secondly, जो क्राफ्ट हैं, these crafts are somehow we are unable to revive these crafts. If we talk about namda in Kashmir, if we talk about obviously bamboo in Assam and other northeastern states, or if we talk about terracotta products, if we talk about metal handicrafts, jhapi if you see on both the sides made ये bamboo से बनता है. So these are the crafts which are dying somehow. Why? Because it has been limited to the rural parts of the country. We need to bring this craft to the urban population. Obviously urban में जो people who are there industry, those are industry members. These are no one but the exporters who are exporting the handmade products, taking the products from the rural artisans and subsequently exporting it to the world market. तो हमारी 5 जो countries हैं जो कि abundantly हमारे Indian made handmade carpets और handicraft products को लेती हैं, these are UK, US, Japan, UAE and France. So अगर ये यूथ है, अगर ये यूथ इस तरह से इस हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स एंड कारपेट सेक्टर में आएगा तो 2 तरीके से फ़ायदा होगा. एक तो हमारा यूथ विल गो टुवर्ड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बिल्डिंग. सेकेंडली वी विल बी एबल टू कीप आवर ट्रेडिशनल एंड हेरिटेज क्राफ्ट्स अलाइव.
Thank you, Arjun Singh ji. You know what he's trying to tell, that this is another sector which is unventured. As a entrepreneur, as a student, you can always think about adapting this because there is so much of rising demand of handicrafts abroad. He's already given you the figures. I think people do not really think about all this bamboo arts and metal arts and handicrafts. Please do adopt this technology, learn this, adopt this, and you can be an entrepreneur. We are moving towards our last topic of discussion, that is entrepreneurial ecosystem. Professor Mohammad Iftikhar Hussain, who is the Dean School of Technology of North Hill University, Nehu, he'll be speaking about entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Good afternoon. Innovation culture is very important for the growth of any country. India is progressing gradually, but innovation culture cannot be started all of a sudden. Overnight it is not possible. So there is a culture, we can change it, we can accelerate it by manipulating or by pushing up some factors. So the factors in inculcating this innovative culture mainly depends on the population size, the type of population what we have, the education system of the country, and the government's focus towards this innovation culture, how they develop. So even after this, we need to give some sort of freedom, like there should be some strong leadership, there should be autonomy, there should be collaboration, then only we can have a good innovative culture. So if we look at this India's ranking in today's time, this Global Innovation Index, it is in 2022, the India's rank was 40th. So it is gradually improving. In the last year, it was 46th. In 2015, it was 81st. So we can say that it is gradually improving, but we are way behind some many other countries. Switzerland was the first one, in fact. So one thing probably which is notable is the R&D spending. Research and development spending is less than 1% of the GDP, so which is far more for other countries, so which could be improved. So when we talk about this industry 4.0 to 5.0, what are the changes we look forward? So basically in one word we can say that the change paradigm shift is from welfare to well-being. So initially this industry 4.0 was all about digitization and automation. Now how these industries can help us, the technology can be used directly for human being. Many technologies have been talked about by previous speakers, that basically when we talk about well-being like healthcare, Professor Dhruv Bhattacharya sir has talked about. The network paradigm is changing a lot from 5G. In fact, people are going towards 6G. The delay component will be very, very less. It will be in microsecond. So about 200 microsecond, almost real-time communication will be possible. So like I have come from Shillong to interact with you. Probably I should have stayed there in Shillong and I could have interacted. And you would have seen me just like how you are seeing me now. So this is holoportation. That means there will be multiple three-dimensional cameras around me, and this snaps will be taken, and these will be sent real-time to here. And just like me, three-dimensional or multi-dimensional figures can be made, and from there you would have seen just what you are seeing right now. So in addition to that, in next generation, like digital twin is going to be one of the important technologies. It is a virtualization of many things, like particularly in service sector, it is being used. In case of Internet of Things, it is greatly used. The industrial floor is using robots in many extent. So in robot also, this network technologies will play a great role. So everything will be automized. In addition to that, AR, VR, then the network is going to be customized, that you will not feel that there is a network around, and everywhere there will be a presence of network, omnipresent communication, right? Ubiquitous computing will be all around. So for that, different technologies are coming up, like microstrip antennas are there, the reflected surface, IRS is also there, so and so on. So many technologies are coming up slowly. And for innovation, the efforts which have been made in today's time, particularly NEP, the National Education Policy 2020, has made a lot of sense in the education paradigm. It has flexible, holistic, and multidisciplinary. It promotes the culture of innovation and skill. So in universities also, the government of India in particular is doing a lot of things like research and development centers, design and innovation centers, skill development centers, and so on and so forth. So this Auto Incubation Center is there, which is actually meant for this business. So those things can be probably the people can take the advantage of.
Thank you, Prof. Could you wrap up your talk, please?
Okay. So in short, so what I feel is that to inculcate an innovative culture and to develop skill, so we need to do few things. As I already mentioned, this population should be educated nicely. That education system and government can play a great role. So here, for innovation culture, we should use the facilities available, and the industry and academia should meet together. They should interact together. The industry should give input that what kind of products they want, so that they become employable. So frequent interaction between the academia and industry is very important, as well as the successful entrepreneurs. So they should come forward probably among the people. So probably what I feel is that there are different schemes from governments. Government is trying to make an innovation culture, but probably those are not reaching to the people. So people, industry, academia, and government, they should work together. So we have a lot of scopes, particularly in case of Northeast, like Shillong can be a good hub for IT. So given the climatic situations there in Meghalaya, so it is a very good option. As already mentioned by one of the previous speakers, this bamboo is a real good opportunity for Assam and Northeast.
Thank you,
so
Prof.
Similarly, there are a lot of scopes, so we can cash on. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Okay, guys. So, you know what information or the message we are trying to give you, that the education is very important. The research has become a very, very important in today's time. Upskilling, you know, you have to be with the time. I met a duo, father and son, yesterday, and they were selling, they were working for those cardiac, you know, the cardiac intervention machines. And I said, how come you landed into this business? And I see the father and son together selling the equipment. They said in 1992, this intervention cardiology, all this angiography came in. And he had a visionary thought, you know, that this is the sector which is going to be in demand in next 30, 40 years, or maybe for a longer time. And this is the area where need to be ventured. What I'm trying to tell you, that you need to keep an eye that where the future belongs. What are the things which are futuristic, like working in AI, working in data management, cloud management, robotics. All these fields are upcoming, so research is a very integral part of it. I sincerely thank the IndiGlobal organizers for inviting us over here, and all the thanks to the speaker, Mr. Srikant Sinha, Sri Lalit Sharma, Professor Mohammad Iftikhar Hussain, Sri Arjun Singh ji, and Professor Sojan Lal. I'm really indebted that this stage was given to address such a huge amount of people present over here. I can tell you I'm not a good speaker. It takes a very difficult, heavy feat from that chair to over here. Thank you very much.
God bless you.
I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers for such an insightful session. Can we have another round of applause for all the speakers on stage, please? Now, as a token of appreciation, we would like to felicitate our distinguished guests with a memento and a traditional gamusa. May I request Dr. Kalyan Chakravarti sir to kindly do the honors. Can we have a round of applause for Sri Ashok Puranik, AIMS Director, Guwahati. Sri Shrikant Sinha, CEO, Task. Sri Shrikant Sinha, CEO, Task. Professor Dhruvo Kumar Bhattacharya, Vice Chancellor, Tejpur University. Sri Lalit Sharma, Director, Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship. Sri Arjun Sen, Senior Manager, Handicrafts and Carpet Sector Skill Council. We have a round of applause for all the distinguished speakers. Professor Sojan Lal, Principal, MBITS, Kerala. Sri Arjun Singh, Senior Manager, Handicrafts and Carpet Sector Skill Council.